Hello, everyone. Welcome to IT Tech Talk. I'm your host, Joel Ward, and with me today is Ethan. How are you doing, Ethan?
Good. How you doing, Joel?
I'm doing good. Ethan, we've been talking for a little while on LinkedIn, and I've gotten to know you just a little bit more. But for my viewers who don't know you, will you give them a little background about who you are, what you do, and how you got into the space?
Yes, I am Ethan Brookes, like you introduced me to be, and I'm a junior in high school here in Waynesboro, and I run a marketing agency, I guess you'd call it, EKB Marketing Solutions, and we do social media marketing for small businesses. I like to keep it small because corporate guys already know what they're doing, and so also coming out of the pandemic, they need all the help they can get, and so I really like to help them out. But yeah, I just manage social media platforms for small businesses and do a little odds and ends things if they need flyers and stuff like that. But yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, my business kind of does that. I help a lot of small businesses, and except I think we differ. A lot of my stuff, because of the rate I'm pumping stuff out, I'm able to offer things for free for some clients who are just getting started. And actually, one of the packages we do offer, which is not known a lot, is we offer free resources to businesses just getting started, and then when they get started and they're a little more sound, they start paying us a premium price. So it's different than what you do, but kind of the same.
Yeah.
I do that because I knew the struggle of getting a business started. I had no experience jumping into getting a business started, so it's kind of like giving out resources. So Ethan, where do you get your clients from? Where do you use social media to pick up clients? LinkedIn, Twitter? Where do you pick up clients at?
It's kind of a mixture. Social media, honestly, just driving. I mean,
Okay.
I don't go out to drive to look for clients, but if you're just driving around and you see a small business that can be prosperous, I like to target those. I like to target businesses that can reach outside of Waynesboro.
Okay.
So if it's a business that has, I can't think of a good example, but can't reach new clientele, or it's just Waynesboro, like only people from Waynesboro will ever go here or ever hear about it, and you can't change that. I don't target them. Like the gym, I'm actually wearing their stuff, WBO. That's one of my clients, and what I'm doing for them is we're doing fantastic on Instagram, and I can get into that later. But I'm trying to set up an online store so that as we
For
gain
the gym.
as we gain a following, apparel and accessories, people that aren't from Waynesboro can now have access to the apparel and stuff. So we're bringing in a new line of revenue, and so if I can't make that happen, like if somebody from California can't interact with the business that I'm working with, I don't think it's a good fit, just because I want to get outside of just Waynesboro,
Yeah, no, I get it. That's really cool. You got the gym, and I hear they are doing renovations or something. Did I hear that right?
They're constantly doing renovations, new equipment. They busted out a wall a long time ago and got more space, and there's some other things in the work. But yeah, it's done really, really good on Instagram. We just
good.
passed 1,000 followers, and I've only been doing it for 3 months.
Good.
Over at 450, and one of the reels on Instagram that I put together and posted. I do a lot of TikTok and reels. Hit 1.3 million views.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's going really good.
So what made you get into marketing? What really appeased you about marketing itself?
Yeah, so my dad's a businessman. He always has been. He's more in the healthcare sales world, but my sister is in corporate marketing, and I've just always been into it. Marketing isn't my favorite thing to do. I'm going to go to college for business management and maybe sales. I'm a lot better at management and sales. I'm very good talking to clients and getting them convinced and ready to make a deal. But that's why I want to scale this. I want to be able to hire people under me to where I just manage what those people do and check in with clients. So marketing, it was mainly just because I just feel like it's a really easy way to get into the business world. It's probably the most accessible to everybody, because you can't just you can't really do anything else freelance for business wise, you know. Uh, Not even freelance, just kind of on your own trying to get into business. It's harder in other business industries. And
Okay.
so marketing is, I like marketing, but definitely long term, I'd like to manage and help with sales and stuff.
So business management and sales motivates you more than a marketing position.
Yeah, yeah, I'm good at marketing, and obviously WBO shows for it,
Yeah.
but it's something that I enjoy right now. But if I can get to the point where I'm just sitting back and managing people to do this and teach them
Hmm.
my algorithm, what I'm doing, that's the end goal.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome. No, I jumped into the space and I had a little bit more experience. I jumped into sales. Like, I sold cars there for a while. I've done everything. I've literally done construction. I've done cabinetry. I've done sales in cars. I've sold literally anything and everything. So I bounce around. Currently, I am working full-time as a resource logistics manager. I handle supplies and driving and deliveries and stuff. So I do a lot of that, which has given me experience with clients. Like you, though, I am very good at, like, managing clients, so making them, like, sign that deal. But marketing isn't my strong suit, so I actually have a team that works for me that does the marketing. But like I said, with COVID going on, though, we have kind of seen a decline in businesses starting and a decline in clients, which I don't know if you've seen with your work, but with us, people don't seem to be gravitating towards that. But my IT business has been taking off due to increase in people working from home, needs where they need to access their internet better or their webcam isn't working, stuff like that. So I've seen an increase in sales on that, which I can sell IT all day. But marketing there's been a decline in marketing. So I'm glad that you landed a client like WBO because, we take care of the smaller people, even though we try and tend to go with the bigger people. But we've seen a decline in that, so we've been focusing, my team and me have been focusing on our IT side of things and just building the IT and doing stuff. So I'm glad that you're growing. So let's go back to, you said business management and sales. What do you see that moving into your business? Are you going to stay a marketing business? Are you going to hire people to keep the marketing going and maybe use that to the business and sales to help the business?
Yeah, I definitely want to keep this as a marketing firm, agency. There's so many different names you can call it, but
Yeah.
just marketing. But yeah, I want to scale it to where I kind of just oversee.
Okay.
So, but I do want to have different positions. I think it would blend better. But yeah, so if I hire somebody, I'm going to hire them. Like the first person I hire would kind of be a partner. It's not going to be a partner because I own the thing and a CEO, I could say. But I would train them to do what I'm doing, and then we'll both hire people under us, and so yeah. So I definitely want to scale it to where it's business management, and I'll definitely go in and do sales pitches and stuff too. Excuse me, but yeah, I want to keep it a marketing business. Just don't want to have to do the marketing myself long term.
Yeah. No, I get it. So as far as you said, you're hiring them as a partner. Would you hire like someone you trust? I mean, for me personally, and this is just me personally, I hired friends to be partners in my business, just because I could trust them and I knew their background, and they actually have business management and financial degrees and stuff and marketing degrees. So I hired them in my business because I knew I could trust them. What's your take on that? Are you plan on using a service to hire them? Or are you going to hire a friend that has a similar background and stuff? Or what's your plans for that?
For the first person, I have somebody in mind who is a friend. Still going to think about it long and hard, just because from experience, I know that when you have friends involved with business, it gets messy.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I want to stick to high school and college.
Okay.
Because I think if I can get in contact with some of these colleges around here and just build a program, it would be fantastic. So I want to keep it young just because people are up with the times and know what's catchy because you have to be for marketing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't have to be my friend whatsoever, and it's probably not going to be.
Yeah.
And I would definitely be involved in the process just because I'm not stingy. I just have a certain mindset of where I want this business to go, and I want to make sure whoever the heck I hire is in line with me.
Yeah, and that's that's true to everything because you don't want to hire someone in and then they push you out or do something that goes against your business model. And that I have had that issue several times. We've clashed heads, and I was like, listen, this is how I set things up. This is how it's going to go, and then we go back on track. But hiring friends is tricky.
Yeah.
We've managed to make it work this long, and I've been in business since 2015, so I have managed to make it work. But there is that tricky situation where, like, if I do something that they don't like, they can say, "Hey, we don't approve of this." And I was like, "Well, then let's talk about it." And one of the things is, like, we have weekly meetings, and I'm always on the phone with them, so we've always are communicating. So hopefully that keeps that business relationship going. Yeah. So, as a young entrepreneur, which I'm going to call you young entrepreneur because you're younger than me, I'm way older than you. As a young entrepreneur, wow, I can't speak. What are some tips and advice you can give viewers to get started into the business space?
It's not as hard as you think it is, or as much work as you think it is. So, man, there's not much. Like, I can give a ton of business advice, but people just getting into it, it's mainly just keep going. Like, for WBO, I'm renegotiating a contract just because we're doing so good, but I got crap money at first. I did not get what I wanted, which it's my first client, and you have to realize experience is worth more than money at that point. Mm-hmm. And being in high school, you have to realize you don't need the money, Unless you're out there providing for your family as a teenager, which you probably wouldn't go out on a limb and start a business if you have to do that. But money's not that important. But yeah, and also don't listen to people that think it's a joke, because I've had a lot of my friends who have the just classic jobs, just the grocery store jobs, restaurant jobs. They don't think what I'm doing is legitimate, or it's hard to explain, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh no, I get it.
Yeah, they don't think it's plausible or possible, so they don't think I'm making money or anything. But I'm not going to bring money into it whatsoever. But I'm doing less than them and making more money just because I'm being smart about it. So it's definitely a slippery slope getting into it young. Gonna get a lot of no's. I got a no from WBO at first. I went back in and got it. But yeah, I can't really pinpoint really good advice. It's just stay on your path.
Yeah. No, I like how you said don't listen to what people say, because I had the same. Even though I'm a little older, I had people, even when I left my job, to like pursue other activities, even if it wasn't. They're like, "Oh, you'll fail." I remember when I went into car sales, I was leaving my dad's business, and everybody there was like hating on me. This one person, one of my old bosses, and she's not there anymore with the company anymore, but she used to say, she's like, "Don't listen to them. You're gonna do great." She's like, "I believe in you." And I ended up going there, and then within a month, I sold 14 cars, in a month. And I was like really happy about that. At the same time, like it resonates through everything, because like you have people telling you can't succeed, and I have yet to find a time where I haven't succeeded, because it's 2021. I bought a brand new house. I have new cars. I have like tons of new equipment, computers, a new deck. We just bought a new patio door. And I'm constantly getting clients and funding and all this stuff, and my job's going great. So like when people tell me I'm not going to succeed, I kind of like, hey, the proof's in the pudding. I have succeeded. Yeah. And you look at all those people who are around me who said that stuff, they're still leading literally miserable lives. And it's like, well, you were you were telling me that one of the things I can tell people, and I've told people this tons of times, and there's two things I'm going to talk about real quick, is don't listen to people, like you said, because one, if you prove them wrong and you keep proving to yourself that you can do it, that's all that matters, is proving to yourself. Another thing that, and I'm sure you, if you don't notice, it's going to help you out, is I do people over money. And I've talked about this in my previous podcast. I talked about this on my friend's podcast. If you choose the person, the client, the customer over money, and you put them on a pedestal and you constantly are giving them what they want and they're paying you, and they will pay you literally anything as long as you treat them as a human being and you treat them like they're the only person in the world. I have clients that I keep coming back because I treat them with respect and with loyalty, because I don't choose their money that they give me over their over themselves. So that's one of the things. If I was going to offer you advice, I would say choose what you're doing and the clients you're helping over the money that they're giving you.
Yeah, I definitely keep that in mind, because I had a second client. And I did that month trial, making good money. It was good. And after the month trial, I decided to end it just because she didn't want to give away she didn't want to give away the part that I really needed to do my job good. And so I didn't want to keep doing that just because, like I said, I'm in high school. I don't need the money. I mean, it's cherry on top, but if I can do something, if I can go out and do something okay, or I can go out and do it to the best of my ability, well, I'm not going to do it just okay.
Yeah. So you said your sister's in the corporate world. Does she help coach you or give you advice in like what you're doing in business, or does she kind of come alongside if you need help? Well, how does that work? Because you said she's in the corporate world, you're in like the high school, still starting business world.
Business side of it, I'm pretty just naturally kind of gifted in the business realm of everything. My dad's definitely helped me put together contracts. Sometimes I ask both of them like how to respond to people, and sometimes I'll ask her to help me with like designs, because I'm not a graphic designer, but she used to do that and she's pretty good at it. But yeah, that's what I ask them. I do as much as I can by myself, and so yeah.
As a young entrepreneur, you seem to be doing well for yourself, landing a client like WBO, and that's one of the things I like, is that you said is like, I went in and got a no, but I came back and got a stronger yes. I think that's really cool that you kept up with it. You didn't just stop there. Pursuing things is hard, especially starting off with just getting into the scene. One of the things I had is I took a lot of those no's, and I remember that this one guy I was listening to on a podcast that my buddy has, and he said, just keep getting those no's, because out of the many no's you'll get that one yes, and that one yes is what's going to land you success. And so, keep getting those no's, man, because if you keep getting those no's, you'll get those yeses, and those yeses are what you want. And even if you have to keep coming back and respond like this a few months later, like, hey, maybe you're interested now, I would, keep going back with that. So you said your dad works in healthcare. So, you and your sister's in corporate world. So, you got into business kind of like on a whim, or is it kind of like, hey, my dad's successful, my sister's successful, I want to be successful? Is that kind of what drove you into the space?
I always knew I wanted to go into the business realm, world, some way or another.
Okay.
But I saw an opportunity, and I took it, really. I can't think of an agency, corporation, whatever you want to call it, that just does social media marketing for only small businesses. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's all these marketing agencies want the big guys.
Yeah.
For the better. But I don't know, these small businesses just need to be educated, because there's so much potential in most of these places. Like WBO, I took it from 450 to I think we're at 1,070 or something. And I mean, that's great. We got the 1.3 million on the views. How does that translate to money? From last year, this time, revenue has nearly tripled, definitely doubled. I have the sheet. And so they're thriving.
That's good.
And if more small businesses took advantage of this, people neglect, oh, it's just social media. What's that going to do? Well, they're bringing in a lot more money than they would have. And so, and adding that online store to Instagram that we're going to be doing at the end of the month with new clothing items and stuff like that. That's a new stream of revenue that they wouldn't have had it's based on social media. So yeah, I just think small businesses really don't know that there's a gold mine that really nobody's going after.
So, and we're going to dive into social media real quick. So what platform do you see as profiting as far as like user base? What is it? LinkedIn? Is it TikTok? Is it Snapchat? Is it Twitter? Is it Facebook? Which one do you see bringing in the most revenue as far as followers and bringing in those heavy stream of clients? As far as like for businesses, yeah.
Yeah, definitely Instagram.
Okay.
Without a doubt. It's just made an impact on the members of WBO. It's made it's just done amazing. Like we do have a TikTok, and I'm a big proponent of TikTok. And I think we're almost at 300 followers on TikTok. But how does that fit into the business world? How does that turn into dollars? At this point, it doesn't. Instagram, it does. That's what it comes down to. Just because the reels on Instagram, I think, are more accessible, and they're linked straight to the page.
Okay.
You don't have to go over to TikTok to see a video. I just edit on TikTok and then post it to the reels. So both, like the same videos on both platforms, so I kind of get to see which does better.
Yeah.
But definitely Instagram has brought in the most members, the most money.
Okay.
It's just a better way to advertise and market.
Do you use a lot of hashtags and like links for different products and stuff when you're tagging the business?
I definitely use hashtags every single post. It's crucial. Just you can go in and see on the analytics what your hashtags, how many people come in, like what's your reach, and it'll reach from hashtags. And we obviously reach more than one person from hashtags, but it's at least one. You'll always, I don't care if you have 5 followers or 5 million, you will always bring people in with hashtags.
It's one of the things that like when I first started, I was like, oh, hashtags are stupid. And then when I started getting the space and I saw what the effect hashtags were having, I was like, oh my goodness, we need to use these. So if there's a post where I really want to promote, I put hashtags in it. Or like if it's a product that I really like, I will link that product and I will link the company in that post with the hashtags. And it seems to reach a good broad spectrum of clients and or prospective people who are interested in the product. And one of the things I have learned and I've talked to influencers and YouTubers and stuff, and one thing they all have in common is they use those hashtags to get more followers, subscribers, people who are listening to their podcast or page, and it really seems to work. And it's kind of funny because like the hashtag is so accessible, it's free. Like all you have to do is put in your post hashtag the hashtag you want, and you have a free way of accessing other people who may not know where your page is or something. They'll see that because I actually recently did some research on hashtags, and I found there's a good percentage of people who actually would rather prefer finding another post off of a hashtag than they would just looking for it online. Yeah. So I really do think that's great that you use hashtags. Have you noticed on analytics if there's been an increase over hashtags over just regular, like people just stumbling upon the page? Have you noticed that?
You can't really translate how many followers you gain from hashtags, but it's definitely more. I could bring up the analytics, but I think we had a really, really good post. It's got to be like a month ago, and the hashtags blew up, and I think just 200 people. I think we reached 1,200, and no, it was more than that. I think it was 500 people. So 500 of that 1,200 was from hashtags. Oh, wow. I don't know if it followed, and they may not have liked, but they saw it, you know?
Okay.
And that's really all that matters. You do have to be careful, because a lot of small businesses try to use hashtags, like hashtag Waynesboro.
Yeah.
That's not going to do much. So you definitely use the highest number of hashtags you can. Like you can see how many times they're used, and I always try to target them and switch them up every once in a while, because I think they get overused, or I don't know what the right word is, but sometimes it just seems like they're not working as good as they first did. So you got to reset a little bit.
Yeah, and you wanna broaden them. You don't want to keep using the same ones each post. Like, I know that sometimes my phone saves those hashtags. And I'm like, I'm trying to use a different hashtag, and they'll be like, hey, you use this one. Why don't you use this one again? And you don't want to use the same ones again, because it just doesn't. If you're going to broaden your horizon and you're going to reach more people, you're going to want to use different hashtags. So that's awesome. So as far as that goes, where do you see hashtags working the most? Do you see them working the most in Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or even TikTok? I don't know if I don't use TikTok, so I don't know if you can use hashtags in TikTok. But where do you see hashtags working the most for the businesses that you work with?
Definitely Instagram. I don't even use hashtags for Facebook, just because I don't think Facebook has the right algorithm for hashtags at the moment. Maybe they'll get better. I just don't see it working very good. But Instagram, you can go in and see that it's working. TikTok, TikTok's just confusing, really. It is, because somebody can post something, no hashtags, not even a description, caption, nothing, and it gets 1 million views.
Wow.
And you can have a crap ton of hashtags, and it gets 5 views. So it's confusing, and you also can't see how many people viewed the video from hashtags. So definitely Instagram. Definitely Instagram. You can see it relating straight to the page.
So if you were recommending to a business to use, like, for yourself, where you're like, hey, I think you do better on Instagram because the algorithm's better, the hashtags work a lot better. Is that what you recommend to clients when you're signing them? Is like, hey, I can get you a following on Instagram, and it would turn into money in the bank. Is that what you normally go through with your pitch?
Yeah, that mainly flows into the online store, because Instagram has a thing where you can add a shop, and so Instagram is the best. It's the best app to use to gain a following and to gain a new clientele. It just is.
So I have never actually, because I spend my time on Instagram, but I don't really use the shop part. I have a business page on there, but I don't know. I've never seen the shop part. How do you access stuff like that? Like, is that something that you have to be a certain influencer or something?
Do you mean like a customer going to the shop, or setting up a shop for your business?
Setting up a shop. I've never. I don't use that part of Instagram. I use it for when my clients. I just use it to broadcast their pages. I don't use it. I've never heard of a shop, so enlighten me a little bit, because I'm an old folk.
Is your account a business account? I assume?
It's a entrepreneur page on mine, and then my business page is a business page.
Okay, so I think it has to be a business page.
Okay.
But so under your profile picture and description and everything, you should see like insights and a bunch of rectangles.
Yeah.
And one of the rectangles says add shop.
Okay.
So you go into there, but then you have to use a different website. So you have to have something to sell the shop. So what we're doing with WBO is Shopify. We're just going to run it through Shopify. It just has to. I don't know why. But then from there you connect. You have to do Facebook first because Facebook owns Instagram. But you connect Facebook and Instagram. Actually, just Facebook. Then you connect your shop to Instagram, and then you go through Shopify to post whatever you want. And so then people can go straight over. So on your page, you'll just have a new section for your shop, and they can browse the shop. But the other cool thing that I'm really going to use the heck out of is, so say I'm selling this sweatshirt.
Yeah.
I post a picture of me in this sweatshirt, and you can buy straight from the post.
Oh, wow.
It's like it's like tagging someone. So when you click the post or click my sweatshirt, it'll say men's WBO navy sweatshirt. So you click that, takes you right over to the site, right over to, not the site, you can do it in Instagram, but it takes you right over to this, add it to cart, then you're good to go. So
Oh, wow.
It's really user friendly, and I'm hoping to really get that set up at the end of this month and really use the heck out of it.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't have many clients who really need a shop. I tend to handle like tree businesses, lawyers, stuff like that. Not many things that really are needing a shop. I just recently did a client's company. He's a tree business, and I helped him get his logo started. He actually just put the logo I designed for him on his truck, his tree cutting thing. I can't think. He's very technical with that stuff. Yeah, you put the trees in, it cuts them up. He put that stamp on there. I was at his house the other day. I was like, dude, that's a sick logo. Who made that for you? He's like, dude, come on now, you made that for me. I was like, I know, but it still looks good. I tend to handle that stuff. I have a team, and I actually use Fiverr sometimes to handle some of that stuff. But yeah, so I don't really need to do many shops. I have never had a client where I've really done the shopping stuff for. I have set up, I do web development, so I have set up a shop on a website. But as far as like Instagram, I've never heard of that. So that's actually interesting that you taught me something I didn't even know. Well, Ethan, we've hit our time. Thank you so much for joining me. And to everybody who's listening, please stay tuned. I have a couple of new guests coming on in the next couple of weeks. Please stay safe out there. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.